Hello all, our topic for today is instrumentation amplifier, and as you can see I have already made the circuit diagram. So what happens in each of these op-amps? Now instrumentation amplifier can be made using separate 3 op-amp ICs. Each of this is a op-amp 741. So you know there will be a positive and negative VCC in each of these, which could be either plus and minus 12 volt or 15 volt. Same goes for this and this. Or we also have readily available instrumentation amplifier ICs in the market, which are the entire setup within that single IC. We are using this circuitry where we will use 3 separate op-amps and make a instrumentation amplifier. So let's see the functioning of each of these. Now what happens here, if you see this works as a buffer. There is input going to your non-inverting terminal. Your inverting terminal is connected via resistance to your output. So what happens if the voltage here is V1? That means the voltage here at this point will be V1. By the functionality of op-amp, in case of a buffer, both the inputs are held at same voltages. So that is why the voltage here will be V1, and as a result the voltage at this point will be V1. Same goes for this. Now suppose the voltage here is V2. So the voltage at this point will be V2. Since this is op-amp as a buffer, both the terminals will be held at the same voltage. So this will be V2, and as a result the voltage here will be V2. Let's say I is the current flowing through this circuit. So current will remain constant throughout. So because of that, current between every block here will be equal. So if the output here is Vout, what happens is you will get, current is nothing but V by R. So the current voltage across this is actually Vout minus V1 upon R, because R is the resistance. This current will be equal even in this block, but what is the Ohm's law here? This is V1 minus V2 upon alpha R, and again this will be equal to this block, which I'll write here will be, now this is V2 and this is V0, so V2 minus V0 upon R. This is alpha R because of the gain factor. So this is how you can give the equation for the current. Now coming to how does instrumentation amplifier work. So what happens is each of these is held at equal resistance R. The output from here passes through this voltage divider and is acting as an input terminal to the inverting edge of the third op-amp. Similarly, the output here passes through with this voltage divider and is an input terminal to your non-inverting op-amp. And then the functionality of these two across these will give you an output Vout. So there are various ways in which we can work. Basically what we have to measure is CMRR. Now CMRR is basically the capacity of an op-amp to reject noise. I repeat, the capacity of the op-amp to reject noise. Greater the CMRR, greater is the capacity of the op-amp to reject noise and other unwanted signals. So more the CMRR, better is your op-amp. This CMRR is actually given as 20 log of AD upon ACM. Now what is AD and what is ACM? This is what we have to measure here. AD is the differential gain, and ACM is the common mode gain. So let's first talk about AD. So in case of AD, what will happen is, to get the differential gain, we will hold the two input voltages at different values. So for the first case, what I can do, I can keep 2 cases. The first is single-ended. So in single-ended, what I'll do is, I will keep one of them at 0. So if I have kept E1 at 0, I will take various values for E2. So let's say my E2 ranges from 0.2, 0.4 up to 1. the difference, you will get some difference which will be your Vn. So let's say my Vn is E2 minus E1. So my input will be the same because E1 is 0. Because of the entire gain factor which is happening across all the resistances, you will get some V out, and after you get the V out, you will calculate AD, which is differential gain, and gain in case of op-amp is V out upon Vn. So this will give you single-ended differential amplifier gain. Now the second part what we'll do is double-ended. So in double-ended what I do is, I now hold this E1 at some constant voltage, say 1. And I will repeat the procedure. I will keep E2 at values 0.2, 0.4 up to 1. I will take the Vn which will be E2 minus E1, so I will get negative voltages because 0.2 minus 1 will be 0.8, then I will get 0.6 up to 0. Then I will measure V out, which will come as a result here because of all the gain and resistances. And then I can calculate AD for double-ended as again V out upon V. I have my AD. To calculate my common mode rejection ratio, I need gain when you have common mode. What do you mean by gain at common mode? Common mode means both E1 and E2 are held at equal values. So what happens here is, suppose I have kept E1 and E2 at say 0.2, 0.2, 0.4, 0.4 up to 1. Technically, ideally, V in is E2 minus E1 or E1 minus E2. This should be 0. However, what happens is, because of certain noises or signal defects, or maybe even your DMM defect, if you are using a DMM to measure the Vn, like across this. So what happens is, because of these differences, ideally this is 0. So V out gain should be 0, but V out gives you certain value. It may be 0.00456 or 0.008 or some value. I don't know exactly how much. But instead of giving 0, because of Vn is 0, the gain doesn't matter. Gain is what? V out is a function of Vn. It may be Vn into 1 plus R2 upon R1, which is in a common op-amp. You know, for a common op-amp, generally you give V out is Vn into 1 plus R2 upon R1 by R1 and R2 or Rf upon Ri. So using some values and R of R here, you will have such a relation. But as long as Vn is 0, output should be 0. But I do not get output 0. There is some signal, some noise, some unwanted, DMM defects which give you certain value for V out. And this ACM is measured as this V out upon. Now this will be actually V out into the gain factor, whatever is your gain factor. So now I will measure the common mode rejection in case of single-ended using this differential gain upon common mode gain, and for double-ended using this differential gain upon common mode gain. So this instrumentation now tells us that even if we hold the values of E1 and E2 at same level, still because of some noises, some signal problems, the output does not come out to be 0. And there is some CMRR, there is some differential gain and common mode gain. To get rid of this, what we are supposed to do is, we should nullify or offset each of these op-amps before starting the experiment. Even when you do offset nulling, which is you will hold a pot between your pin number 1 and 5 of op-amp. So this is your op-amp. Suppose this is pin 1 and this is pin 5. You will hold a pot between this pin 1 and 5 and make that pot equal to 0. But even after doing that, there will still be some CMRR still applicable to your circuitry, and that is what we have to calculate. Thank you.